looking forward to talking about this. So Jason Kelce retired at the end of last season, longtime center for the Philadelphia Eagles, Hall of Famer, most likely, great player in his career. Went to the Super Bowl, lost to the Chiefs, right? Who did they lose to? The Chiefs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, he had a great career and now he's a media person. He has his podcast with his brother, Travis Kelce, and he does ESPN stuff. He does Monday Night Countdown and he does the Monday night games on ESPN. So he's carving a niche for himself as a media personality. But that's not why we're talking about Jason Kelce today. The reason why we're talking about Jason Kelce is because his wife, named Kylie Kelce, started her own podcast recently. So she's entering she's entering the foray of being a content creator. And I guess during one of her new or most recent, I think this thing just started, so it may have been the first episode, but she took a fan question, and the fan question was like, who's going to watch the kids if you have to work and if you have to do your show and you got to do your thing? Does Jason watch the kids? Does he babysit? And she answered honestly, and she said, nah, Jason don't really be watching the kids like that. If I need somebody to watch the kids and I got stuff to do, I am going to get some childcare. And the internet went nuts on her. The internet went crazy. They're basically saying that he sucks as a parent.
Come on.
The internet's like, I can't believe she admitted this. This is gross. And I can't believe that this is happening. This is ridiculous. And so that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the internet roasting Kylie Kelce and Jason Kelce because Jason Kelce doesn't watch the kids while the wife is busy. So this says people have been left too stunned to speak after Kylie Kelce admitted that her husband, Jason Kelce, doesn't watch their kids.
Oh, Lord.
Ever since Taylor Swift started dating NFL star Travis Kelce last year, it seems as though everybody associated with him has seen their public profile skyrocket. In addition to increased interest in Travis's best friend and teammate, Patrick Mahomes' wife, Brittany Mahomes, and more people than ever tuning into the New Heights podcast that Travis hosts with his brother, fellow NFL star Jason Kelce. Jason's wife, Kylie Kelce, recently launched a podcast of her own, Not Gonna Lie. Kylie and Jason first met via Tinder and got married in April 2018. Together, they share 3 daughters, 5-year-old Wyatt, 3-year-old Elliot, and 22-month-old Bennett.
I'm about to say, goddamn.
Yeah, 22-month-old Bennett, with Kylie announcing that she is pregnant with their 4th child just last month. And she opened up about their family dynamic during the first episode of Not Gonna Lie, which premiered last week. Answering fan questions, one person asked if Jason would be watching the girls while she records her show, like she does when Jason is podcasting. Furrowing her brow in apparent confusion, Kylie laughed nervously as she wondered aloud, how do I say this nicely? No, she then confirmed, seemingly shocked that the question had been asked at all. She then revealed, when I have to do something, coaching, something for Eagles Autism Foundation, podcast, a doctor's appointment even, I will schedule childcare. My husband can tell me 72 times he is going to be in the house during the times when I have to leave it. I will still schedule childcare. And it is not a knock on my husband. My husband is busier than he has ever been. He is working so hard and really grinding right now. And so I just make sure that I'm covered. Kylie then said that this sometimes means that Jason will also be at home and available while somebody else is watching their kids. She shared, if that means that he's at the house and someone else is there and that's what we have going on, he will not be watching the kids. He's not watching the kids right now, she confirmed, hastening to add, I think he's in meetings. A clip of Kylie's comments was recently shared to social media, and while it was understood that Jason couldn't watch the kids when he was also working, many were left stunned to hear that he doesn't appear to share any of the burden of childcare with his wife.
Oh, Lord.
One viral quote tweet of the video reads, straight women are not okay. I can't imagine being married to someone I don't trust with my kids. Insane.
What?
Yeah, this is the internet, bro. Yeah. Another popular response adds, the fact that Jason has never had to worry about being responsible for his children is mind-boggling to me. I would be genuinely embarrassed to admit this, someone else replied. Another added, it sounds like Kylie also has a 37-year-old son at home.
Wow. Wow.
One more asks, so she has to arrange childcare for their children when she wants to do something. Meanwhile, she just looks after the children if he's doing something. He's a parent too, and they are married. Surely you should support your spouse and be a bit more equal. Somebody else echoed, basically, what I'm hearing is that when he's busy, she keeps the kids out of his way. And when she's busy, she also finds solutions to keep the kids out of his way. While another tweeted, I can't imagine being in a relationship where I need to schedule a babysitter to take care of my kids while their dad is in the next room. I pray for women every day.
Oh my God.
So here is the clip. Here's the clip. Because I got to play the clip. So here's the clip of Kylie Kelce saying this.
It's well known that It's well known that you watch the kids while Jason podcasts. Will Jason be watching the girls while you do this show? How do I say this nicely? No. When I have to do something, coaching, something for Eagles Autism Foundation, podcast, a doctor's appointment even, I will schedule childcare. My husband could tell me 72 times that he is going to be in the house during the times when I have to leave it. I will still schedule childcare. And it is not a knock on my husband. My husband is busier than he has ever been. He is working so hard and really grinding right now. And so I just make sure that I'm covered. And if that means that he's at the house and someone else is there, then that's what we have going on. He will not be watching the kids. He's not watching them right now. I think he's in meetings. It's well known that you watch the kids while Jason.
So there you go. And the internet is having a field day with this, clearly. So the floor is yours. What do you think of the reaction to her admission that Jason doesn't watch the kids if she has stuff going on?
You know, I think it was the last few weeks or so I was giving the internet credit for interneting the right way. They failed on this one miserably. Now I know who those interneters were. I could tell by some of their comments of what branch of the internet this was coming from. But I couldn't disagree more with these naysayers, with these people throwing shade towards Jason Kelce. Hey, listen. All right. There was a clip of Jason Kelce floating around where he was self-admitted. He doesn't even clean his own feet. Right? He doesn't even clean his own feet. He was like, why should I do that? You know, well, I'm cleaning everything else. The suds get down to the bottom. He's like, bro, you got to scrub your feet, bro. He doesn't clean. And it's a football player, a center at that. So this is who we're talking about here. Okay. And so he loves his kids. I would say he loves his kids. All right. Now, I don't know how he is parenting, but I know he loves his kids. And he is busy. I mean, as soon as he left football, which is extremely busy, he went right into the broadcast world. He went right into recording commercials. He went right into being spokesperson for various things. You know, like he's got ads. He's got everything going. This man is busy. And his little bit of time that he gets to get, you know, he has to be doing all of this, you know, stuff at the house. Here comes the people. And it's like, no, he doesn't have time for that. Listen, man. And this is something that I feel as though more people need to talk about when it comes to what men are responsible for, when it comes to child rearing. Okay, when a woman is pregnant and stuff, and you know, everybody likes to talk about postpartum, and postpartum is real. Okay, but people also need to talk about prepartum. All right. And one thing that's going on with all of that stuff is is that a woman that's pregnant or right after having a kid, she needs a lot of support, more support than what her husband could provide. This is why, and I'm on galaxy brain here.
Go ahead.
But this is why historically, all right, there were women around, okay, more than one. Okay, more than one woman around the house to support each other while the guy is busy making sure that they're supported. So, this nowadays where capitalism and things are going on right now, it's a different type of work structure than it was back in the day. But whatever that work structure was back in the day or whatever, where you had to earn your keep or whatever, the guy is busy doing that. And he doesn't have time to come home. He doesn't have enough bandwidth to come home and do all the necessary stuff of nurturing the woman, making sure that her emotional levels are correct. It's all out of whack because she's going through all of these hormonal changes and all this other stuff. So the only people that can understand that are women. So historically, there were these other wives and situations like that where the woman was getting support. If you want to flip the script and say that, hey, man, you know what I'm saying? There were societies where there was multiple men in the house. Fine. There's multiple people supporting the woman, supporting the kids and stuff like that. So my point is that it takes a village, not only to raise a child. Okay. It takes a village to deal with your woman too. Okay. No, it does. But nobody talks about that.
Because no one talks about that because a man's emotional support needs are not important, apparently.
It's not important.
Yeah.
We don't have any apparently.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if we display some, we be in a you know what. Okay. But yeah, man. So those people that were commenting in that comment section going, oh, how dare he does that, or no. So nowadays where Jason is only allowed to have one woman, I'm going there with it. He's only allowed to have one woman. Okay. His wife has to hire another woman to come and do what those other women that would have done, that were his other partners, to be doing for free. And so again, all of this stuff, well, I'm that. No, it takes a village to raise these children. So nowadays with capitalism and stuff, people have to hire a nanny, hire a caretaker, send the kids to daycare, pay for that, instead of having a family structure that makes sure that all of that stuff's being done because there's enough bandwidth to go around. I'll get off my soapbox for now. But what are your thoughts, man, on the internet going hammer on Jason Kelce because his wife going postal out here pretty much said, hey, man, he didn't even take care of his own kids. What are your thoughts, man?
I think all of those commenters need to have a seat.
Several
seats. Yeah. Now, my primary rule on commenting on marriage is if you are not married, you do not get the right to comment on another person's marriage. If you are not married, your opinion on another person's marriage is null and void. It does not count. Does not count. Non-married people should not ever comment on married people. You're not married. You don't know what the dynamics of their marriage are. Until you become a married person or have been a married person, you do not get a seat at the marriage commenting table. And I am willing to gather that the vast majority of those people commenting are not married. I don't think it takes a genius to make that conclusion. Them people ain't married. Now, I'm not married, so I'm going to be consistent and follow my own rule. I'm not going to comment on the dynamics of their marriage and whether the fact that he doesn't watch the kids makes sense or not. I'm not married. I don't have a place to comment in that regard. What I will comment on, however, is those idiots commenting on their marriage. I'm going to comment on the commenters. That's what I'll do. I'll comment on the commenters. And here's how I will address those who believe that it is a travesty that Jason Kelce, by all appearances, does not seem to be made responsible for watching after the children as a primary caretaker. And I'm going to go there. People aren't going to like this, but I don't give a damn. I'm going to go there. This isn't Galaxy Brain, but this is masculinity talk. So from 2011 to 2014, Jason Kelce signed his rookie deal, 4 years, $2,137 and $2,137,432. In 2014, he signed an extension, 6 years, $37,500,000. Average annual salary was $6,250,000. In 2019, he signed another extension, 3 years, $24,500,000. Average salary was at that point $8,166,667. In 2021, he signed another extension, 1 year, $9 million. Obviously, in that 1 year, he made $9 million. In 2023, he signed another extension, which would be his final season, 1 year, $14,250,000. I believe it was fully guaranteed. Therefore, in that year, he made $14,250,000 just in 2023, just in the 2023 season. Now, juxtapose that with Kylie Kelce's net worth, which at this point, not factoring in her podcast, stands at a paltry $1 million. Now, why do I bring up the money? I bring up the money because I believe that in any successful relationship, assign roles in which the participants in the relationship adhere to their assigned roles makes for said successful relationship. It just may be as such that he earns the money and he continues to be on the grind doing his thing, and being a day-to-day caregiver is simply not a part of his immediate responsibilities within their family dynamic. It's not one of his assigned roles. Who cares? I am fairly certain she has several assigned roles. I am fairly certain he has several assigned roles that she is not responsible for. For example, if she decided she wanted to quit podcasting tomorrow, she's probably not going to have to worry about earning money. And she'll probably never have to worry about earning money so long as they're married, because that is one of his principal assigned roles. See, I firmly believe this. Well, I'm starting to believe this. I used to think that people can be sort of made into marriage material. But as I see more things like this play out, I am now starting to believe that people who are marriage material are born and not made. And in saying that, a person who is naturally inclined to be married intrinsically understands that there are roles that they are going to be assigned and responsible for that the other partner is not. And they are going to lean into those assigned roles and embrace them and perform them as admirably as possible. The people who have a problem with that, people such as those commenting on what she had to say, are people who aren't marriage material. Because people who aren't marriage material can't comprehend the notion of assigned roles in a marriage. And if you can't comprehend assigned roles in a marriage, you're not made for marriage, and you probably will never get married. And if you do, it's probably not going to last. It's as simple as that. I've never seen a marriage that was successful that didn't have the people who were in it adhering to the roles in which they are assigned. And it is never going to be a situation where each person sits down at the table and says, all right, we're about to get married. Let's write down what our roles are. No, you're going to fall into them naturally based upon your natural inclinations as a person. So she fell into being the primary caregiver, not because Jason Kelce demanded it, but because that's her natural inclination. And Jason Kelce, in all likelihood, fell into being the primary breadwinner because that was his natural inclination, irregardless of whether he was a professional football player or not. It just so happens that he happens to be one. People who aren't married don't understand this. And people who will never, and people who balk at this, who are somehow upset at this and feel righteously indignated to comment on it, will probably never be married because they don't understand that part of what makes a successful marriage go is people leaning into the roles in which they are assigned. Even if that means he's not watching the kids on a day-to-day basis as a caretaker. So what? Like I said, if she decided she's never going to podcast again, she can drop the mic tomorrow. I don't want to do this no more. I'm good. She ain't going to have to worry about filling out a resume and going to work for nobody. She's not going to. Now, are you going to disregard that? No one brings that up. We're just bringing up the fact that she said he don't never have to take care of the kids. How dare he? But no one's bringing up the fact that she'll never have to work a day in her life. There's something to be said for that fact. And that's a role that he has embraced dutifully. In a perfect world, he probably would like to rest on his laurels and not have to worry about making money, but that's a responsibility.
Correct.
And he fulfills it to the best of his ability. And she fulfills making sure the children are taken care of to the best of her ability. And it works. They've been married for how many years? Who are you as a non-married person to comment on that? So, of course, the internet, in this case, doesn't know what it's talking about. All of those harlots in them comment sections, like I said, the vast majority, if not all of which are not married, shouldn't be. They need to take a seat and stop commenting because they don't know what they're talking about. And the fact that they're commenting in that way is proof to me that they will probably never be married because they don't know what it takes to be married. So, Jason, keep making your money, sir. And Kylie, keep scheduling the babysitters.
And listen, and I agree with that. But I would throw in there, there were comments in there that were married women. And they got, not my husband. I wish he'd better, because listen, what has gone on here in, the West is this. See, feminism don't have to try no more. It's already here, and even if a woman doesn't really proclaim to be herself a feminist per se, the feminist ideologies and doctrines have been going on since they were a little person. So at this point, some of them are feminists by proxy, through osmosis, and they're walking around here spewing feminist doctrines, and so I'm sure there were women in there that have men, or are married, and I'm pretty sure there was some suckers in there, some dudes in there talking about that comment that said sounds like he's raising she's raising a 37-year-old man or whatever. That sounds like a dude.
I don't know. These sound like all women to me, man.
Hey, well, in any event, I'm just saying there's some guys out there, all right, who drink soy-based products.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
They're sitting there going, oh, not me, man. Not me, man. I'll make time for my children. I wouldn't have my woman out here doing all this. I mean, she coaches. And see, this is my thing with her. I'm about to get on her real quick. Because, yes, this was sent in by a fan. And I don't say, but how does she have fans? But I guess she got fans. But this was sent in by a fan. And whenever you get stuff sent in by fans, you have the option to choose of whether you're going to answer that or not. She chose to answer that. On top of choosing to answer that, she chose to make this the soundbite thing to promote her podcast. And, do that thing in their marriage. I don't know what their dynamics are. I'm pretty sure they're used to joking around and they don't care. And I'm pretty sure all this other stuff. But she had to get this off her. She had to let the world know he does this. And then here comes the yuppies coming in here saying, oh man, shame on Jason. Shame on Jason for not being in there for her. Shame on it. And just forgetting the whole fact that he's out here doing his own role. And she even said it in her own statement that this guy's out here busy and he's grinding. So yeah, even though he'd tell me he's going to be home, I know that at the drop of a dime, he can get a call, email, he has to suit up and go into the room and, and do a live thing or whatever. Who knows? He's a busy dude. So he doesn't have the bandwidth to be around here doing all of that. So yeah, the kids are there. They see him there. She didn't say he's absent. She said he's busy. He's a busy man.
That's what's getting me. That's why, like, I hear what you're saying, but what's getting me is these yuppies, as you call them, took her comments and equated them to him being absentee.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is where I can't get down with that. That's why I'm saying, like, y'all are taking this way too far, and that's why I believe these are unmarried people. Because they went all the way left with the comment by misconstruing it on purpose as him being absentee, taking it to a place that it doesn't need to go.
Divorce rates are the way they are is because there are married people who think like those people in that comment section. Is my point as well. And not everybody that's married got it figured out. Some people just get married just because it's what's to do.
Yeah.
And so, and I hear what you're saying, but because there's people out here that's married and that's doing their thing, but there's married people all the time, with they counselors and their lawyers on deck because they don't understand each other's roles, and especially if somebody's around here being the breadwinner, to make sure that this making this whole thing go financially, at least. That requires a lot of bandwidth. So there has to be help. And so I don't know how many situations of people that's grown up here in the West, because there was a 2-parent household. Let's say it's a 2-parent household, but both parents have to work. All right. And then now they are getting left at the Boy and Girl Club, or their parents don't get home until 5 or 6 o'clock. And then so when they was out of school, there was this whole lapse of time where ain't nobody taking care of them. Some of those people got into nefariousness. My point of saying this is that what has gone on here is that people need to reframe the mind that the conditioning that they have been given of what a marriage is supposed to look like. They figured out a science that works for them. And as you said, who are you to comment on that? When I was going galaxy brain, and my first talking points was that because of them living the way that they are, they have to pay for a third party to come in or a fourth party to come in to make sure that the house stays afloat. And my argument is the reason why these people are paying is because this westernized way of looking at how marriage is supposed to go is that it's only 2 people and they're raising it and that's it. There's family's not even involved anymore. And back in the day, there used to be a nuclear situation where grandma and grandpa and everybody's in the same house. So they wouldn't have to pay for this other person. And it wouldn't be looked at as a frowning upon if grandma's taking care of the kids. So my whole situation is that what has gone on in this in the West is that we have gone further and further away from family, so much so that people have to pay for family, if you want to look at it that way. And now they're paying a woman who is being a family to their kids. So yes, they're doing that, but they're just making sure that they have their kids grow up the right way and they are balanced, but they just have to pay for that service now. But there's nothing wrong with what he's doing. And for the way things are structured, there's nothing wrong with her doing that either. So yeah, man, but all in all, it does take a village to raise a child, and it takes a village to help the family. And so it's not just going to be the 2 people that get it done. They're going to need help. And so whether people want to look at it like this or not, people send their kids off to public school. They can't wait for their kids to go to public school or whatever type of school, just so they can kick the kids out of the house and somebody else can take care of them. Nobody wants to say that either. But historically, it was a village type of situation where you didn't have to feel like you got to kick your kids out. There were people around that were there to help indoctrinate the child with family-oriented goals instead of state-oriented goals. I can keep on going. But all I'm saying is that those people in the comment section, whether they're married or not, single or not, or whatever, those are the people you need to run from. If they can clearly see this situation, hear what she had to say, and then look at it with a compartmentalized mind and say, hey, there's nothing really wrong with how they want to run their family. But yeah, man, it got me.
Yeah, well, see, the thing, I don't know anything about their marriage. So for all I know, her parents might be involved with the kids. I don't know. But I wasn't the one who commented that he's a bad parent, essentially.
Right.
Because I believe I'm going to perceive her comments to mean that he's absentee. That's what these individuals did, and anyone else who takes her comments to mean that. For all I know, outside of the times when they need childcare because of circumstances, they may incorporate some sort of a communal aspect of child rearing, which involves family members and other close confidants and things of that nature.
Possibly.
The point about it is, I don't know. I'm not in their household.
Right.
So because she makes an otherwise innocuous comment does not give me the right to comment on the state of their marriage or whether he's a good parent or not.
Agreed.
So where I will side with you when it comes to the feminist mind control aspect of this conversation is this notion that there's this 50-50 split when it comes to caregiving disregards the reality that in any given setup, there are roles that are assigned for each person. And you don't know what those roles are. If it is stable and it functions, who are you to comment on that?
Exactly.
That's the thing about it. But people feel emboldened to comment on it based and engage in all of this righteous indignation because of their belief of what the nuclear family is supposed to look like, which is somehow he makes $40 million and goes and does all of these business meetings and is on ESPN all day and does a podcast with his brother, but can still spare 8 hours to babysit the kids while she does one podcast. Like if you say that out loud, it doesn't even make sense.
I mean, to the rational mind,
correct.
But you sound like a dogmatic. What do you call it? Misogynist.
I sound like a conservative. Hey, look, man. Shouts out to Jason Kelce and shouts out to his wife. Shouts out to their family for all that matters. Whatever they got going on, it works. And there are way too many people out here nowadays who feel too inclined to comment on the next person's relationship. And for whatever reason, it seems as though way too many people feel far too inclined to comment on marriages and relationships that are successful. No one seems to comment on the ones that are dysfunctional. We want to comment on the ones that work. So go figure. Explain how that works. Make that make sense. I don't get it, but no family dynamic, whether it's a marriage, a relationship, parent, child, I don't give a damn. Sibling, everyone has a role that people naturally fall into based upon their innate sensibilities. And that is what makes it successful. And I personally believe that a person who doesn't understand that is a person who lacks those innate sensibilities, therefore makes for non-marriage material, despite the fact that they may get married anyway. We see how long that lasts, which speaks to the reason why the divorce rate currently sits at 52%.
Exactly. Lord have mercy.
It's gross. I'm done with this, man.
Hey, man, I didn't even know this was going on, bro. That you got me with that one, bro.
Shouts out to Jason Kelce, man. And if you're not married, don't comment on another person's marriage. And furthermore, even if you're not in their household, if you don't share in their circumstance, shut the hell up. Yeah, shut the hell up, bro.
And Jason, I took up for you, bro. Now clean your damn feet, bro. Make no sense, bro. Clean your damn feet.
Oh gosh.